Hey YouTube, what up? Welcome back to another video. Have you noticed? Yeah, it's gonna be one of those videos. But have you noticed when it comes to the light-skinned, biracial mix, black male, black activists, you notice like when it comes to like their girlfriends and wives, spouses, whatnot, they tend to be like monoracial black women a lot of the times. You don't tend to see them as much, with, you know, women who are non-black, especially, and women who are even like, light-skinned biracial like them. You notice that, like, your Malcolm X's, your Louis Farrakhan's, your, um, um, like the leader or the president of the NAACP, I forgot his name. And even like Sean King, the Black Lives Matter dude, who was accused of being like a Rachel Dolezal. But oddly enough, I kind of see like based on his look, I think that he is part black. You know, I think that is his part black is probably less than 40%. Probably more like between like you know probably like 35 and 25 maybe. Hmm. But I could be wrong, but somehow I kind of see it in the face. Yeah, it kind of looks to me kind of like has like an oddly familiar. Actually, his face actually reminds me of a buddy of mine's face who is like Native African, actually, like the facial structure and everything. But another story for another day. Yeah, but yeah, like this, like those guys, those men right there, they tend to have like it's seeming like they tend to have wives who aren't racially ambiguous. Not like they're not black identified, but racially ambiguous. They tend to be like black, monoracial, non-racially ambiguous. We can tell what they are. And I'm like, that's interesting. I wonder why that is. When it comes to like some of the darker skinned the dark brown skin dark skin black male activists are you know pro black adjacent folks they tend to not have that same mindset about it you know not all the time because it's not all the time but this seems to be a little different with them, right? And I think why that is just because I think that those light-skinned biracial mixed men are aware of how they come off, and how, their ambiguity is viewed, especially in the context of proclaiming yourself as being, down for the people, you know. So for them, I think in order for them to really, make the statement, help them make the statement that, they're, you know, in it to win it for black people, they kind of have to show that they are invested and committed. And I think, them using, the women that they're with is sort of like a political statement, right? Saying like, hey, this is the side that I'm choosing. I'm choosing blackness, right? Because I feel like in general, when it comes to like, especially like really ambiguously racially ambiguous people, it's kind of like sometimes like their spouse or a significant other is sort of like an can often is used as an indication of where they you know they lie in terms of like what race they consider themselves or what race they want to gravitate toward and that sort of a thing. To an extent, even with monoracial people, still people feel that way. But especially with you know biracial racially ambiguous, like light-skinned folks, it kind of comes off. It kind of is like that too. Even more so though. You know. And on the other hand, the black, the brown-skinned, dark-skinned black men, I don't think, they don't. I think for them, because black men, particularly brown-skinned and dark-skinned black men, are seen as just, the representative for the entire black community, they may not feel that same like pressure or obligation, because it's like, hey, people aren't as quick to question his, I guess, loyalty or where he lies on the fence, because people just assume like he's black, so he would, be on the side of blackness. It's like, he's not, you wouldn't mistake him for anything else. It's kind of like low key, they're like, hey, I'm black enough for the both of us. you know, like they black enough for like, if they have like a biracial or light skinned wife or girlfriend, and sometimes even like non-black women, you know. And to be honest, it would be kind of strange for like a light-skinned mixed biracial dude to be up here talking all this pro-black stuff and ain't even dealing with a black woman. Wouldn't that be like really strange? Some people would just be like, they ain't taking you seriously like that. They ain't taking you seriously. And I think some people feel that way about, the brown skin, dark skin, monoracial black men too. But I think they sometimes let him slide with that a bit more. Because, we know he, is black. We know that he, by the way that he looks, he has kind of like, to an extent, no choice but to be invested and committed to blackness. While it seems like the light-skinned biracial mixed dudes kind of seemingly have a choice. So it's like, hey, we need to know what your choice is. We can't assume. We can't just, we gotta have a big sign that says what your choice is, right? But I think it's just an example of how, sometimes like significant others, and how it comes off to other people and how people can read it, and what value is placed on that, right? Like there's videos on YouTube, primarily by black women, but some black men too, about talking black but sleeping white, or sleeping non-black, right? So I think it has some validity in it. But I'm gonna bring this video to a close. But what do you think? Do you think I'm reaching? You think I might have a valid point? Let me know in the comments section. But one more thing, even like say, Chris Broussard, I think that's how you say his last name. He's French. I think he's like Creole, identifies as black, sort of a thing. I think he's from Louisiana. So Chris versus Shannon Sharpe, right? Because Chris, his wife, he does speak on like black issues and black, situations and things like that, as does Shannon Sharpe too. But it's like Shannon Sharpe tends to, I don't know, he might be more so of a swirler, while Chris, he is, married to, a monoracial black woman, right? But if Chris was the swirler, would you take him less seriously over it? As well, some people kind of may take Shannon Sharpe less seriously. That's just something to think about, though, right? Just something to, think about. I feel like this low-key relates to, like, talking black and sleeping white, Can you be pro-black and be with a non-black spouse? That sort of a thing. But, yeah, I'm going to bring this video to a close. Thanks for watching. Leave your comments below. Adios and goodbye for now.